what I want to talk about today. Last week, I reminded us that it's always a good time, that now actually is a very good time, and it's important for us to do an audit of our year so far. Let's look at our 5 months to see what business or how business has gone for us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you all because Inman had a list of 27 things. Now, I don't like all of them, but I do want to bring up some of them to show to us. So we're not worried about the daily checklist because we know there are some things that we should be doing on a daily basis. But this right here, in terms of a weekly checklist, I believe is important. So we're going to look at weekly, monthly, and annually. And so all of us, just to make sure that we are reminded that as members of Miami Association, we do have access to the Inman Select subscription. So I really encourage you all to utilize and leverage that if you aren't already doing so. But I love this because this gets back to the root of our business, to the root of what we do for a living. And it really goes to that foundational level, knowing our numbers. Now, we know our numbers because I ask you what's your number, and everyone knows how many calls they need to do, how many appointments they need to set. But this is a great reminder. For instance, let's just look. Number of new leads generated. We are in the lead generation business. If we aren't growing our business with new leads, if we aren't filling our funnel, our business is going to die. It's going to be starved. It's not getting the nutritional supplements that it needs, the bare minimum. So we want to make sure we're always keeping track of those new leads generated. This is where I'm doing it in my referral maker. I don't know how you're going to keep track. You can use a spreadsheet, but just keep track of the new leads generated. Follow-up calls. The next three are really important. Number of appointments scheduled, showings booked, and the number of offers received or made if you're working with buyers. We must know appointments, showings, offers, appointments, showings, offers. This is going to go through that conversion ratio, because once we start looking at the leads generated, phone calls made, or follow-ups made, appointments scheduled, showings, and then offers received or made, that's going to help us figure out where in the sales process we might need to get some additional or different training. Now, closings and then marketing budget. So, especially when things get tough, I don't know if you all have a consistent or a predetermined marketing budget, but here's what I know. The businesses and the business owners who have a marketing budget and they keep track of that on a weekly basis are the businesses that win. Now, in the summer, your marketing budget might be more or less, but we have to know what we're going to spend to continue to get our name in front of people. It might go to a different area or arena. Maybe it's for a different type of marketing, but it is important that we market. Now, when it comes to the monthly new listings, I am still of the belief, I have been of the belief for my entire career, that if we want to grow business and still maintain our sanity, we must be listing specialists. We must be marketing specialists. So how many listings have you taken? I would also ask, how many marketing consultations have you been on, right? I know it talks about appointments, but monthly, we really do want a really good number for the number of new listings that we've taken, but also how many marketing consultations have we been on, for the purpose of training and understand how or why we might be missing out on business. This other information is average days on market. We're going to say median days on market, median sales price, not only for our listings. I believe that monthly we need to go in for our marketplace, do the homework so that we can be knowledgeable and be professional when it comes to having conversations during those engagements when we're out, especially in the summer. We know we're going to have people leaving here, going to other areas, maybe individuals coming and visiting family. We've got a number of holidays in the upcoming months. So we want to be able to have educated and informed conversations with those when we speak to them. Monthly, We talked about our weekly marketing budget, but monthly, what have been your total expenses? What have you spent money on? Do we know? This is how we hold our finances responsible to earn and to bring back and yield a return. How many referrals have we received? I'm also asking on the month, how many referrals did I send out? Did I let my people, my affiliates, my allied resources know that, hey, I've sent X number of referrals? So I would encourage all of us to do that. And then annual, and we see this here, website traffic. I'm not big on the website traffic piece as much as we know where our leads came from. So we might be running a number of different lead funnels or capture funnels. It could be via email. It might be on social. It could be your note cards, but we have to track it. If we don't track it, we cannot improve it. If we don't measure it, we cannot improve it. And then annually, and this is something that I am encouraging you all to do, remember, semi-annually. So I would love for us, if you have not already done it, let's look at this information here. The big one, client satisfaction survey results. I don't know what you're using, but I would encourage you to find some type of survey machine to go through, program to run your surveys through, and it could be third party, so that you can figure out what your clients like, what they didn't, and then we can take that information and we can improve upon it. Of course, we look at the expenses, compensation or commission earned, and then those average sales price. And so something that we're hearing a lot about right now from the broker side, we're hearing a lot about the question of, are we looking for sales volume? Because sales volume gets all the awards, right? So are we talking about sales volume? Is that what we get excited about? Or are we talking about profitability? So I don't care about the sales volume that we have. Now, I know we have a goal of the 100 million, but my goal is to have higher profitability. When you can leverage your resources, your time, your knowledge to maximize the return and to earn more profit. And so one of the things that one of my mentors says, that profits are better than wages. So how can we increase our profits? How can we increase our profitability even with a lower sales volume? Some of that is going to be having the listing side of the business going into August 17th. If we can structure and create our business where it might be positioned to lawfully and legally do two sides of the transaction, or to not have a cooperating. Now, we know dual agency is not allowed in Florida. However, transaction brokerage is allowed, right? So not dual agents, but transaction brokers. So how can we increase our profitability by maybe not necessarily having a greater amount of sales volume, unless you're technically going to count the two sides of that transaction when it comes to the MLS. So I really want us looking on a weekly, well, of course on a daily, but weekly, monthly, and I'm going to say semi-annual basis to see where our business stands. Right now, we are working for our July and August income right now today. So we really need to make sure that we have a great June, so that July and August is going to be phenomenal. Let's go ahead and start planting those seeds in the minds of individuals while they're out for summer, yes, but we also want them thinking, hey, what do you want life to look like before the kids get back in school? Or where do you want them, what school zone district do you want them going to next time they're in school? If they are moving, what do you want the fall to look like in your life? Is it going to be out of South Florida? Also, one more thing as a reminder, we know that we are approaching the storm season very, very soon. Maybe you can start implementing that into your marketing, into your outreach piece, because it is important that we have a plan, that we are intentional about how we market for the rest of the year and how we get in front of people. In fact, I am going to, in the group chat and on the Facebook page, I am going to send out a 12-month marketing plan. calendar, and then you all can fill that out, because I do believe that if we go through and if we plan things out in advance, it's going to make our lives, our businesses, and our profitability go through the roof. And so I just wanted to make sure that we knew that we're aware of it. So that's what I have.